I just got an espresso machine for my birthday and I haven't been able to master it just yet. I tried to make a rose latte with oat milk, but this is like a lot of milk. So I'm not sure that I've mastered the coffee to milk ratio just yet. I mean, it tastes good. Today is Tuesday, March 15th, and I have pretty much nothing to do today. And coincidentally, it's super fucking nice out today, or at least nice according to me. Right now it's 55 degrees outside. Looks like it's gonna hit 60 around 1 o'clock. I'm thinking I will go eat lunch outside somewhere, read my book, go to the park, and just hang out outdoors. I've been trying to spend more time outside. I don't think I've ever talked about this on my YouTube channel. I've definitely mentioned it before on Instagram. I don't think I've ever really talked about it in depth publicly, but I've been seeing a weight neutral nutritionist since August. So it's been about 7 months or so. I decided to seek out a weight neutral nutritionist during the summer because I really want to prioritize healing my relationship with food and movement. I think I've done a lot of healing in terms of like my self-confidence and my brain and how I see myself and speak to myself. And I wanted to meet with someone who could help me heal my relationships with food and movement, help me feel more confident in the decisions that I'm making and more in tune with what I need, what my body wants, and just feeling more connected to myself in terms of food and movement. But I didn't want my weight to have anything to do with it because my weight doesn't have anything to do with it. I'm not looking to change my body in any way. I'm not looking to lose weight. And anyways, it's been amazing. I feel like I've gotten so much out of it. I feel like I'm way more connected to my body's needs and wants and being able to listen to what my body needs and wants, not restricting myself in any way, like building more colorful meals. And it's been nice to separate the part of my brain that as a kid growing up was very like engulfed in these eating disorder tendencies, puts things in boxes of like, this is healthy and this is not, and listening more to the side of my brain that's like, we're not putting foods in boxes. We're not looking at things as yes or no. We are going to honor our wants and needs and cravings while also listening to when your body is full, when you've had enough, building colorful meals, making cooking and eating fun instead of super fucking stressful. So anyways, I feel like I have gotten so much out of the experience. It's been really incredible. And I think a lot of the work that I've done with her so far is more focused on the food side of things. And now we're starting to get more into the movement side. Growing up, I was a pretty active kid. I taught dance when I was in high school. So I was dancing every day of the week. I was also a cheerleader for 8 years. I loved movement when it came close to performance. I love performing. I love putting on shows. So dance and cheerleading were things that I loved growing up because it felt like, you know, I'm an entertainer at heart. That's what I want to do. But I had a lot of experience as a kid outside of dance and cheerleading where I felt like movement was sort of used as punishment. And growing up using movement and exercise as punishment to your body creates a really complicated thing as an adult when you lose dance and cheerleading and these groups that you were a part of as a kid. When you lose the movement that you loved and now you're stuck as an adult trying to learn what movement and your relationship with your body in that way could look like, when all you've ever known is movement and exercise as punishment, if it wasn't for performance, is complicated. So that's been another interesting thing that I've been trying to unpack with my nutritionist, and trying to just change the way that my brain sees movement, find movement that feels good to me. And sometimes it's really as easy as like a language shift. So now in my calendar, when I block my days off and plan what I'm doing, I make time for recess. And what recess is just time for me to like go outside and play, whatever that looks like, right? But I call it recess because that sits better in my brain. It feels like, oh, this is fun. We're celebrating movement. We're having fun. We're going outside and we're playing, and it's not punishment. Sometimes it's like as easy as that for the first step of like reframing how you see certain things and how words sit inside your body when you hear them. So anyways, the reason why I'm saying all that is because today is kind of like a recess day. It's like a field day. I just get to go around, walk outside, enjoy the weather, read my book, eat good food, and like enjoy movement for the fun of movement. So I'm gonna finish eating my breakfast, and then I'm gonna do my makeup, get on a cute outfit, and then we'll go to the park and get lunch. I'm so excited. All right, let's do my makeup for the day and chat a little bit about today's sponsor, which is our friends over at Beducated. If you don't know, Beducated is an online course platform with audio, video, and written guides, all with the aim to enhance your love and sex life. It's basically just a massive library of courses ranging from blowjobs to the female orgasm, threesomes, online dating, squirting, pleasure mapping, dirty talk. They have courses on just about anything that you could ever want to know about. And my favorite part about Beducated is that these courses aren't just like, oh, here's a ton of information for you to consume. Not only are they giving you all the information, but they're also walking you through it on video, watching performers in real time go through these different activities, topics, tricks, whatever you want to call it. It's very educational, but they do a really good job of pulling you into the course. Very easy once you consume the course, take in all the information to know how you can apply this to your own life. I recently started their course on pleasure mapping, which is super hot, and honestly, I wish that the men I would date would take these courses too. What the pleasure mapping course is basically just a course to help you and your partner discover different techniques to explore both your own and your partner's different pleasure points and desires. So the key sort of parts of the course are becoming curious about your partner's sensuality, creating a physical and mental map of you and your partner's body and pleasure zones, discovering new ways to both give and receive pleasure, and a bunch of tools for understanding nonverbal, direct, and indirect communication in the bedroom. So if you're interested in checking out Beducated, as always, I have a code for you guys. You can use code Maddie for 70% off the yearly pass at Beducated. Yes, 70 goddamn % off. I'm gonna leave all the links in the description down below, so be sure to go check them out, show Beducated some love, and thank you again to Beducated for sponsoring today's video. All right, what are we wearing today? I kind of love this new sweater vest I got from Shiny by Nature. It is very cute, good for layering. Also love this purple sweater that I got from And Other Stories. It's a lot of purple happening, but if I'm gonna be known for anything, I'm probably already known for wearing a lot of purple, so I guess it checks out. I also have another sweater vest, pink and white. Can't really see it on camera, but that's from And Other Stories. And then I also just got another shacket from Aritzia, which I feel like is kind of the perfect coat for today. A nice little shacket moment with a sweater underneath. Yeah. Yep, it's happening. Okay, whatever. I like this. This might be too much for a lot of people, but I think this is cute because it's sort of the same type of swirl pattern, but it's just brown and green, and there's a little bit of pink happening, but it's so faint, and I have purple hair, so none of it matters. Wear what you want to wear. So I ate my lunch and it was absolutely delicious, and I started some new poetry. I'm reading Love's a Dog from Hell by Charles Bukowski. I have some thoughts. Off rip, first, 100 pages in, not sure I love it. Some of the writing is nice, but some of it is kind of vulgar, and I'm actually not someone that really minds vulgarity in poetry a lot of the time when it feels warranted. And some of this doesn't feel like warranted vulgarity, it just feels like saying crazy shit for the sake of saying crazy shit. Some of them are fine, but most of the time I find myself reading poems where he'll talk about women that have wronged him and going, ha ha. Because I just don't like the way that he writes about women. Whatever. So I went on this really great date on Saturday. It was wonderful. He was wonderful. Yeah, it was a great date. I won't bore you with the details. It was a great first date. I had a really awesome time with him. We started off going to this one wine bar in Williamsburg that I picked out, Woodhull Wine Bar. If you're looking for a good date, first date, any date, I guess, spot in Williamsburg, that is like a really fucking good spot to go to. Just making sure my audio is recording. We were there for probably like 4 hours, and then we bopped over to a different bar in the area to just continue sitting, drinking, talking, flirting, the like. And when we got to the second bar, the place was pretty packed, and the bartender motioned for us to go sit at one of the booths, and so we walk over to go sit in the booth, and there's a big sign over the booth that says kissing booth. Which is so corny and stupid and gross, and I loved every second of it. So the moral of the story is that this is really solid evidence to show that the universe is also on team Maddie deserves a smooch. And we all knew that I deserved a smooch, but now we have confirmation that the universe also agrees that I am deserving of smooches. It was just very cute. It was sweet. It was corny. It was dorky. I fucking loved it. I love how the universe just like itched that rom-com itch in my brain and was like, yeah, we're gonna seat you in a booth with a sign that says kissing booth over it and give you a 6-hour date. Yeah, that was great. I loved that. Other big news going on at the moment actually involves you guys. So let's talk about it, because I'm pretty fucking excited about this. Basically, I have been talking with a group travel company called Trova Trip. They reached out to me to see if this is something that I would be interested in, and it absolutely is. Planning a vacation for you and I to go on. So of course, this is a group trip. It would be 10 to 20 of us, whoever the first 10 to 20 people to sign up are. About a week, anywhere that we want to go. We'll do all the typical vacation stuff, see the sights, eat the food, explore wherever the fuck we decide to go, and I'll be the host of the trip. So I would really love to facilitate a lot of like group activities, self-confidence seminars, just like fun little ways to connect with each other. This is what I love doing, and I feel like I haven't gotten an opportunity to really connect with a lot of you guys in person, and this is just gonna be such a fun opportunity to make some new friends, do it all while exploring somewhere new, which is so fucking cool. I don't know any of the details yet, and that's what I'm talking to you about right now. There is a survey in the description of this video that's asking you guys where you would want to go, how long you would want this trip to be, what's your budget, what time of year is best for you. Just getting information from all of you guys to make sure that I can plan this trip to be the best it can possibly be. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, if you want to go on a little vacation with me, make some besties, let's fucking do it, bitch. Let's get after it. I'm so down for this. I've seen other YouTubers do similar stuff to this before, and I was always like, damn, that sounds so interesting, but also like complicated to plan. So when Trova Trip reached out to me, I was like, let's do it. I'm all in. So survey in the description, fill it out, let me know what you guys are thinking, and let's go on vacation. Fuck it. All right, I bought 2 books, even though I totally didn't need to. I bought Crying in H Mart and Beautiful World, Where Are You? Both of these books have been on my list. I'm going to read them eventually. Do I have a stack of books in the corner that I have to read? Yes. I had a pretty interesting conversation in therapy this week and the week before. It's been a multiple session conversation, and it's gonna consume many more sessions in the future. I've talked before in videos about how I have struggled with the idea of being too much. This fear mostly exists in romantic contexts, in context of my dating life with men. I don't feel too much with friendships or with family or with women in general. It is my fear of being too much often is exclusively connected to dating, and specifically dating men. But this is sort of a background thought that extends throughout a lot of my life. Sometimes it's negative and sometimes it's positive. So there's like two sides to it, right? Because I think this idea of too much is a good thing. I think all of my best qualities are what makes me too much. So these are things about myself that I would never compromise or change because they are my favorite things, but in my head, they are also reasons why people might not want to be with me. So in that way, the idea of too much has been used as a form of punishment inside my head for why people won't like me, or convincing myself that the people that I want will always want someone smaller and more digestible and more manageable and quieter and more submissive than I will ever be. On the other hand, the idea of too much is also used as like a compliment to me. It's like the reframing of, if they think I'm too much, then they can go and find less. If I am too much for someone, then that's their problem and not mine. I don't have to change anything about myself. It's just that they are better suited for someone else, and nobody gets to take that out on me. No one gets to make that my problem. And there's also an aspect of too muchness that refers to my body and the physical space that I take up and what people see when they look at me, when they look at, not only am I a fat woman, but I'm a fat woman who dresses in loud colors, that shows off her body all the fucking time and doesn't give two shits about it. I am loud, okay? I'm loud in every way. And I think I've really accepted this idea of too much to the point where it really is like subconscious, the way that I speak about myself and the way that this language of too muchness weaves itself into my day-to-day life. And my therapist pointed out to me, she was like, do you think that's the truth? And I was like, how would it not be? I feel like I've learned my whole life that I was too much. There's that back and forth of like, this is something I love about myself. I love that I'm so opinionated and that I'm smart and that I stand up for things that matter to me. And that I'm not passive, and that I don't let people say whatever the fuck they want around me, and that I do stand up for the things that I believe in. I love that about myself. But there's also a part of me that just wants to be accepted and loved and liked by people. And so there is a part of me that always wished that I didn't care as much, that I was less opinionated, just so that people would like me. Because God knows high school would have been easier if people did. And so anyways, my therapist just challenged me and she was like, do you think that's the truth? Like, do you think that you are too much? Is this idea that you've accepted of yourself, does it actually hold any weight? And in some ways it does, because existing as a plus size woman, a lot of people will treat me like I'm too much regardless. Existing as an opinionated woman, a lot of people will treat me like I'm too much because a lot of people would love it if women like me would shut the fuck up. Are those people right? No. I feel like a lot of my idea of too muchness comes directly from fat phobia and patriarchy. So there is some truth to what I'm saying, right? There is some truth to my lived experience where I am too much. But is this a truth about myself that I hold true? It doesn't matter what other people might say about me. Is this a truth that resonates to me in my community, in people that know me, love me, the people that I surround myself with? No. It's not. And so then we reach the question of, is hanging on to this idea of too much serving me? And I don't have an answer for this right now. This is something that I'm talking about in therapy and will for a long time, because this is a lifetime of believing this. So it would take a lot to all of a sudden one day up and abandon this idea of too much, because I do find in some ways it has been a comfort to me. As much as the idea of too much has been used to punish myself, it has also been used as a way to comfort myself. When I have felt like people didn't like me, particularly in my dating life, when I felt like I was unlovable, there's some part of this too much idea that I could lean on and be like, it's not that there's something wrong with me, it's that I'm so overflowing with so many amazing parts of me that this person just can't handle it, but someone else can. So there's a part of me that's leaned on the idea that I'm too much in the way that it makes me abundant, in the way that it makes me so easily to love to the right people. But there are gonna be a lot of wrong people too. And so there's a part of me that worries that if I abandon this idea of too much, how do I reckon with the fact that I have felt unloved at certain times in my life, particularly romantically? How do I reckon with that if I can't call myself too much? If I can't justify it with that language, then how do I sit in that feeling? I don't have the answer. I don't know if this belief serves me anymore. Maybe it does, or maybe it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I also don't want answers. This is an open-ended, we're gonna keep thinking on this for months. Something to think about though. Does the idea of being too much serve you? If it did once, does it anymore? What would it be like if we got rid of it? All right, that's it for today's vlog. I'm gonna sit and watch the H3 podcast for my plans tonight. Again, the survey link for the Trova trip is gonna be in the description down below. If this at all interests you, be sure to fill it out so you'll have first access whenever things go live. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, because I am dumb sexy. It's a little ridiculous. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.